Welcome back to Coach Bill's Sports Show. As always, I'm Coach Bill. Thank you for joining us again. Diving into the 2024 quarterbacks for the draft. Recently read a report where teams were excited for Caleb Williams. Got me thinking, hey, let's look ahead. Let's look at the 2024 quarterbacks. Let's see what's there. Is there anything that really is worth getting excited for? And I was pleasantly surprised. I got 11 names. Got no real ranking to it. We'll just kind of dive through them. I put the ones that I'm most excited for earlier on, and then it just kind of is what it is after that. But no real ranking to them. So let's get through them. Caleb Williams, obviously the report was about him. So let's dive into Caleb Williams first. The Heisman winner from last year. Working with a coach who's had multiple number one overall picks at quarterback. As long as he stays healthy and puts up another year like he had last year, he's definitely going to be there. Definitely going to be in that conversation for the number one overall. Shouldn't be too hard for him to put up the numbers he put up like he did last year. The thing is, he's got to stay healthy. That's the key for him. Got to stay healthy. Number 2, Drake Mays. Okay, another dude that's going to be in the top 3, top 4 quarterbacks in next year's draft. Could be in the conversation for the number 1 overall pick. Mays talented, very talented, prototypical size, sneaky fast when he scrambles. He's able to put the ball where he wants it majority of the time. Obviously, he's still progressing as a younger quarterback. He's just able to do stuff differently. So Drake Mays, another name to watch for next year. Number 3 is probably going to get some people a little off put, but whatever. Joe Milton III. Personally, I know I'm a Tennessee fan. I know I'm a little biased on this, but looking at it from a quarterback perspective, from the NFL scouting perspective, he has a cannon for an arm. You're talking 60 yards passes with the flick of a wrist. So he's the biggest wild card, in my opinion, for next year's draft. His arm strength and the talent could put him as the number 1 pick, especially if his accuracy continues to be improved like we saw against Clemson in the bowl game. And if Tennessee has another amazing year, if they don't take a step back like some people think they will, as long as Tennessee doesn't take a step back and he's improved his accuracy, he's got an amazing chance to be one of the top 3, if not the top quarterback taken in next year's draft. He's going to start skyrocketing up the boards. That's no doubt about it. The wild card side of it is if the accuracy hasn't improved, he can end up benched. Because there's a 5-star sitting behind him, chomping at the bit. So, moving on. Michael Penix Jr. from Washington popped on the scene in a big way last year. And if he can continue to do that in the Pac-12, he's definitely going to be drafted. The question comes down to where, and is the team that drafts him set up to be a team where he's able to be successful with? He excels at timing-based throws, rhythm-based throws, and he needs to be with a team who can keep him on script and keep him moving in that pattern. Quinn Ewers, talent's undeniable for Quinn. Had some injuries last year, kind of up and down. But with the incoming of Arch Manning, if he can keep the job for another year, he could be looking to the draft afterwards. If not, he could be heading into the portal, or he could stay at Texas. Quinn's a wild card. Next up, Devin Leary. Devin Leary is one of my dark horses in the quarterbacks. Huge hype after 2021, what he did with the Wolfpack. Got hurt last year, transferred. Now he's in the SEC at Kentucky. If he's healthy and able to look similar than he did to 2021, could be looked at as a first-round pick, early second-round pick at quarterback. But there's a lot involved with him. Can he stay healthy? Can he look the same? With the different talent and the different scheme, how does he fit? There's a lot of open question marks about him. Another dude with some question marks, Jaden Daniels, extremely talented gentleman, highly touted dual threat quarterback coming out of high school. He got LSU into the SEC championship last year, which is no small feat, especially in that West. He has some fine tuning to do, and that's why I'm happy he came back for another year, so he can continue to improve. LSU around him is still kind of in turmoil, and if it's possible for him to show up like he did at the end of the season last year and get them in contention for another SEC West, then by all means, Jalen Daniels is going to be one of those names that pops off the screen in 2024's draft. Potentially higher up too. There's a lot around Jaden. And I think the battle testing from last year will help calm everything down for him and help him excel a little bit more as he moves forward. Another person who's had some stuff around him, been battle tested, Spencer Rattler. Multiple 3,000-yard seasons for 2 different schools. The talent is there. The issue's always been interceptions with Spencer Rattler. I think he had 12 last year. He stands 6'1", so he's a little undersized, which could be leading to the interceptions. But he's always flashed in bigger games, especially against Tennessee and Clemson last year. He just shows this it factor that I can't really put my finger on. I know all the measurables and all the other stuff that I'm looking at with him tells me he shouldn't be doing some of the things he's doing, but he's doing them. And he's putting it on film that he can do this. So Spencer's a wild card, man. I was one of the ones, I'll be the first to say it, I was one of the ones that thought him moving to South Carolina was a bad move. He was getting rattled that last year in Oklahoma with some blitz pressures, and I thought, the SEC defenses are going to eat him alive. They're going to eat him alive. And he's shown me that he can survive. Somebody who had to leave the SEC, Bo Nix, could be in 2024's draft class. Bo Nix, the move to Oregon, I don't know what it was for you, bud, but if it was a change of scenery, change of coaching, change of talent around you, just a better atmosphere, getting out of the SEC, I don't know what it was. But last year, you looked good. You made a huge difference. I think you increased your completion percentage by over 10%, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible. If you can continue to show that consistency and continue to show that you're improving, Bo Nix is a potential quarterback for next year's draft class. One of the more intriguing quarterbacks for next year's draft class, and one of the ones I'm honestly the most excited for, is Sam Hartman. Sam was at Wake, and while he was at Wake, put up 13,000 yards and 110 touchdowns. Say that again. 13,000 yards and 110 touchdowns. And now he's gone from Wake Forest to Notre Dame. He's got more talent around him at Notre Dame than he had at Wake Forest. Honestly, I think it's better coaching. And he's able to perform on a bigger stage. All of that gives me excitement around him. My one drawback is his size, but his production has been so undeniable that I see nothing to tell me he can't do it at Notre Dame. He's produced so much at his size at Wake Forest that there's nothing in me that says he can't be able to show his skill set and his talent at Notre Dame better. My honorable mention is KJ Jefferson. He's extremely intriguing to me as a draft prospect because he can beat you on the ground, through the air. His size and his skill set will draw attention from pro scouts, especially when he hits the combine. He could be next year's Antonio Richardson, where you look at the game tape and it's like, but then he works out and you're like, oh, wow, okay, maybe it was something else that caused this. If he can show more through the air than he has in the past 2 seasons, I think that'll go a long way to helping out his case for drafting him and for it being a higher pick. But the one thing that he should continue to do, the one thing that he excels at more than a lot of other guys on this list, is when he tucks that ball and runs. He is a man amongst boys when he runs the football. And it's been shown that if you have that talent and you have that ability, if a team in the NFL is able to build around you, then it can work in the NFL. Look at Lamar. Lamar's a great passer, don't get me wrong, but he's an exceptional runner. I mean, KJ Jefferson's one of those guys that I just feel like isn't on a lot of people's radars, but he should be. You know what I mean? He should be. So, quick little recap. Bunch of names I'm looking out for this season in college football for next year's draft. You got Caleb Williams, Drake May, Joe Milton, Michael Penix Jr., Quinn Ewers, Devin Leary, Jaden Daniels, Spencer Rattler, Bo Nix, Sam Hartman, KJ Jefferson. Any one of these guys, I think, has the talent to get drafted into the NFL. The question is, how much can you produce, and what do you look like on film, as well as what does your combine look like to where you're going to end up. Obviously, there's some guys who are more skilled that will get drafted higher, but with the hype, just curious to see. I just want to see where does everybody end up. Thank you for watching. If there's somebody I missed, if there's a quarterback on your list that I missed, share them with me. I'll watch it. I'll look into it. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Definitely helps us out here. Helps me try to get a little bit more consistent with this. Thank you. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Ready?